Hey everybody, welcome back to the stream. This is where we left off last time. Let's take a look at that. We got some more detail in the arms, which looks pretty nice. And overall better textures. We'll probably go back to shading a bit later, but I think we're at a point where we can start to rig this guy. So let's get on that. We're just going to hop right into it. So, we'll isolate just the robot on a layer. And we're going to go ahead and save this, and then save it as _rig. Oh, come on. So we're going to go ahead and join all of this stuff. You might regret this later. And we're going to move this all to where his feet are at the 0 axis. We can get pretty close. Get as accurate as we humanly possibly can. It's lagging because we have a decent amount of polygons. This guy wouldn't even work on mobile because he has 69,000 polygons. Okay, cool. That works. So now, let's just make sure all of this is mirrored properly. I'm going to add a cube and test the mirroring on it. Yeah, it looks pretty close to being mirrored. We just want to be able to mirror the rig, which will make our lives a lot easier. So we'll go ahead and add an armature. And let's start with the pelvis, which we want to put right in the center of this joint right here. And to do that, we'll select it, we'll hide everything but that. We'll select these two vertices and we'll snap the cursor to selected. And we'll come in here, we'll delete this bone, and we'll add a new bone so it's centered. Because for the robot, everything is going to have to be centered. Then we will snap the end. I'm thinking to here. Although, I think to make things easy, we're going to keep the bones separate. So we're going to duplicate this. Hey, what's up, Atticus? Just rigging the robot. So unhide all that stuff. Now isolate this. Get the center of it. And then we will snap selection to cursor. And then snap selection to cursor and drag this out this way. So now this will rotate on this axis, and this will rotate on this axis. And we'll lock the rotations here in a bit. Oh, it's completely understandable. No worries. Alright, so now we have bones for those joints. Let's get a bone for this joint, and we'll connect it to this joint. So let's go ahead and put bones in the middle of these spheres. Except we will mirror those, so we're actually going to... There's a way to mirror bones, I can't remember what it is. So I'm going to Google that really fast. Okay, so x-axis mirror. Okay, and then shift extrude. So now we just want to snap these to... So we don't need these anymore. But these should still be mirrored, so that's cool. And we can grab the sphere, grab the center ring, snap cursor to selected, snap selection to cursor. And that should automatically snap that one. So then this bone, we want to get the center of this area right here. And then we'll just extrude this straight out like that. And then for this joint, okay, so duplicating while x-axis mirror is on works, so that's good. So for this joint right here, we want to grab its center point. This is pretty much just going to be a lot of grabbing the center point. Snap selection to cursor, snap selection to cursor, and drag that forward so that'll rotate around the proper axis. Cool. Then we'll do the same thing for this one. So we will duplicate this bone, make sure it mirrors. And same thing we've just been doing. Just get it so it is perfectly on axis. So here, we want to add a fake joint that can rotate around this axis. And we're just going to have to guess on that one. And this guy we can actually rotate, which is not letting me rotate it for some reason. I guess we have to change the bone roll. We'll change the bone roll to match. So let's go to 0, and then just subtract that until it matches the general angle of the arm. Don't know how necessary that is. Alright, so for this one, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to grab the center of this, and then we'll grab the center of these points right here. To get the right angle. And then we'll move it in along the y-axis because it doesn't really matter where this bone is, just so that it's in the correct location relative to this joint, because we want it to rotate around the center of this. So we'll set the roll to 0, and we'll duplicate it. We'll select these center vertices again. Snap selection to cursor, and then we'll grab just this one vertice, snap selection to cursor, and then GYY to move it across the y-axis. And then we're gonna have to change all of these to Euler, or Euler, I don't know how it's actually pronounced, and rotate ZZ, rotate YY. Looks like the y-axis is the one that's gonna change, so we're gonna set Y to the primary. So we'll do YZX. And It didn't update for all the selections, so we have to do it for each bone individually. And let's just make sure we're rotating across the proper axis. If we lock all the rotations except Y, that is... okay, cool. You will be able to rotate any way you want. Actually, X is going to be your primary rotation axis. And X and Z, so we'll do X, Z, Y. And you get to be Y. You get to be Y. And you get to be Y. And hopefully the mirror worked on that too, but it didn't. So now I have to redo it for this side as well. So YZX, 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 and then XZY, I think is what it was. Yeah. Okay, so now let's get to work on the fingers. We're gonna do these a little bit differently. I'm gonna grab the joint. And then we'll grab the next joint. I think Shift S is... okay, Shift S is snap. I need to just start using that hotkey. So this bone will rotate this, and this bone will rotate the... we need one more bone. And we'll snap it to this edge right here. Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift S, selection to cursor, and then move it all the way out here. And then these are going to be on the rotating on the X-axis. So we'll do X, Z, Y. Not that it matters, because they're only going to rotate on the X-axis. Cool. So then we'll duplicate, 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 and then we'll snap. Selection of cursor. Cursor to selected. Selection of cursor. And then drag it out. And drag it out. Oh, This is looking pretty good. All these are going to rotate properly. These bones over here are not matching. I don't think that hand is mirrored quite properly. So that's unfortunate. We'll fix that in a second. But it does look like these bones, like for the wrist and stuff, are still matching. That stuff is properly mirrored. It looks like it's just the hand that's off. So we might just take the hand and rotate it to match. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this finger. Shift S, selection to cursor. Oh, nope. Shift S, cursor to selected. Shift S, selection to cursor. Shift S, cursor selected. Shift S, selection to cursor. Shift S, cursor to selected. Shift S, selection to cursor, and then drag it out. And then let's go ahead and fix this hand. We'll just select all this stuff, hit Control L. Then we will flip it on the x-axis, but set this to median point first. Then we're gonna match it up with this hand over here. Yeah, you'll notice the rotation is completely off on that. We'll actually separate it. And move it so these vertices match up. We'll just choose this vertex right here. We'll actually snap to vertice. And then we'll take this one, snap cursor to selected, and then we'll rotate around the cursor until it matches way over here where it's the most offset. And we'll flip it across the median point, and then we'll just set it to x minus 1. Uh-oh. Let's just move it over like this until the joints do match up. And that doesn't look quite right to me, but the joints match, and that's what really matters. If they end up not matching later, we'll just fix it. Oh shit, none of this stuff matches. we'll take some of the inside stuff, doesn't really matter so much. What does matter is this joint right here. So we'll flip that and we'll move it until it matches. And it looks like it's rotated properly, so that's a good sign. And then we can flip it again and move it to the negative. Okay, and I think as far as we're concerned, that's pretty much fixed. So let's go ahead and fix these joints. In terms of rotations. So we want these to be X, Z, Y. X, Z, Y. X, Z, Y. And again, I'm not very good at rigging. This is going to be a pretty jank rig. But it's going to allow us to pose the robot, and that's what really matters. Okay, so we got the fingers, the hand, now we gotta do the thumb. So the thumb is a little bit trickier because it has the joints going in the different directions. Also, we need to parent all this stuff properly, and name it all properly. So let's go ahead and do that while we're here. We'll call this one pelvis. Or RB_pelvis. This one will be RB_waist. And then, since we're facing him from the screen, this isn't the right joint, this is actually the left shoulder, so RB shoulder L. And then RB shoulder R. RB arm twist R or L. RB arm twist R. And RB, let's call this one bicep. And elbow. Then forearm. Right, naming conventions, doesn't matter what your naming convention is. I think Blender has a special one where it'll auto mirror names as well, but I don't know what that is. Oh, I guess it is _L and _R. Alright, and then RB_wrist L. RB wrist R. RB pinky base L. RB pinky tip L. RB ring base L. RB ring tip L. RB middle base L. RB middle tip L. RB index pointer. We'll do index. Okay, so wrist R, so RB pinky base R, RB pinky tip R, RB ring base R, RB ring tip R, RB middle base R, RB middle tip R, RB index base R, RB index tip R. Okay. So I think we got all this stuff named now. That's pretty cool. Still have a few more bones to add, but for the most part, most of the joints are in place. That's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and do the thumbs. And we'll go ahead and snap. Drag that one up. We'll duplicate it. I don't know if other 3D applications even have a 3D cursor, but it's like the most useful thing ever. Set the roll to 0. I don't know why this won't move along that. Along its local y-axis. That's pretty weird. This is still mirroring, but it is... Oh, it is correct. Cool. We'll go ahead and roll this. Just a bit. And that matches, so that's good. I need to figure out why we're not moving along the local axis when I hit Y twice. There's got to be a setting or something I changed. I have no idea. That's going to be really frustrating. grease pencil. Oh, what change did I make? Oh, let's go ahead and work on this anyway. And your roll doesn't need to be anything. Oh, why are you not moving locally? You should be moving along the normal, and it's not, and that's extremely frustrating. Does anybody have any ideas? I guess there's not many people watching, but if anybody has any ideas, shout it out in the chat. I've never run into this issue before. Like if I add a cube, rotate it, then it'll do it. And it was working earlier. So that works. Okay, maybe if I snap the cursor to selected, go to 3D cursor mode, and then just scale on the Y. That's a workaround, but it's annoying as hell. Okay, so now none of these are parented properly. But let's go ahead and name our thumb bones. So we'll call you RB thumb base L. RB thumb lower L. RB thumb upper L. And RB thumb tip L. Do the same thing over here. And then these ones are going to need to be XZY. And we want to rotate around the median point. And you're going to get YZX. And you're going to be YZX. That's very confusing. So I locked only the Y. That makes sense. Cool. Now let's go ahead and parent these. Okay, so wrist. All of the bases are going to go to the wrist. And you can just hit Control-Z while hovering over it, and paste, paste, paste. So now all the fingers rotate with it. The thumb stuff doesn't. So this one is going to go to thumb, base. And this one's going to go to thumb, lower. So now this guy should only rotate around Y. And everything rotates with it. That all rotates properly. That rotates properly, and that rotates properly. Cool. So then we're going to take the wrist and parent it to the forearm. Take the forearm. And we'll parent that to the elbow. Take the elbow, parent that to the bicep. Bicep will be parented to shoulder. Oh wait, no, to arm twist. And then twist will be parented to shoulder. So now, hey Tivo, what's up? We only want this to rotate on Y. The sooner we get this stuff working, the better. Oh, we are rigging the boss robot for my VR game. Gonna give him some articulation so I can animate him. And all these should only rotate on Y. Cool. Next, let's do the other side. So all these go to the wrist. And same with this one. And you go to thumb, base. You go to thumb lower. And you should rotate on Y. And these should rotate on X, and this should rotate on Y. And this should rotate on Y, which it does. All these rotate properly on X, so that's cool. Okay, so then this goes to forearm. This goes to elbow. Elbow goes to bicep. Bicep goes to twist. Twist goes to shoulder. Shoulder goes to waist. Which it already does. And then waist goes to pelvis. Alright, so now he can rotate like this. He can rotate like this. This will be able to rotate any direction. This should specifically only rotate on Y. This should specifically rotate on Y. 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 Then all these should be correct. Cool. Alright, moving right along, we'll do the legs next, now that the arms are pretty much set up. We'll take these bones, make sure they're not connected, but they should be parented to the pelvis. And these are going to go to this joint. Oh, I need to get in the habit of using that hotkey. Like, you do something for so long one way, it becomes habit and difficult to change. So we'll duplicate you. We'll take these edges. So now we have this joint, and this should be YZX, this should be YZX. Lock everything except the Y. Cool. Then this one, we're actually going to do a vertical joint for it though. So we'll take these edges, snap the cursor to them, duplicate this, snap the selection to cursor, and drag it up. And then this will be, so we have pelvis, right. This will be RB, leg, out, L. RB, leg, out, R. RB, leg, twist, L. And then RB, leg, forward, back, L. And this needs to be R. Alright, so then this is parented to this one. So this will be parented to FB. FB will be parented to out. So if we wrote, what the hell? Oh, we want right. So that should rotate those. This should be YZX. YZX. And we're gonna set up an IK system for this, so it'll be a lot easier to animate, but yeah, so this rotates those, this rotates that, and then this rotates just the leg twist. So this will be parented to twist L. This will be parented to twist R. We want leg twist L though. And we'll select the center of the cylinder. Snap the cursor. And that should be correct. Alright, now we just need a foot bone, which will end up coincidentally being our IK controller for the legs, I think, because the feet aren't going to need a whole lot of control. So we'll just put those in the general right location. We'll copy the head, we'll paste it on the tail, and then we'll move it forward like that. Legs, he's going to be standing pretty much in one location. And then these will have no parent. So we're going to set up an IK system. And let's go ahead and see if that works. So we'll go ahead and add inverse kinematics. The target will be, we need to name these RB foot L, RB foot R, RB knee L, RB knee R. And this will be foot, oh wait, first of all armature, and then foot L. And then the chain length. Oh, and then for IK we have to set stuff up too. So under inverse kinematics we want to lock everything except Y. And same for all these. We'll figure this all out later. I've had it working before. Oh, are these not parented correctly? Twist. Twist goes to... Why is that going to pelvis? I thought I fixed that. Alright, so this goes to leg FBL. And this goes to out. And for all intents and purposes, it is completely fucked up right now. We'll figure that out later. We just need all of our joints in the right locations, and we have that. Let's go ahead and fix the parenting here, though. FBR, out, pelvis, pelvis. Cool. Now we need our neck. And our head. So we'll go ahead and extrude the waist for this, disconnect it, and we'll just we'll go ahead and separate the neck. so we can get the centers of these. We'll just get close. This one doesn't really matter too much. We'll just extrude neck pieces to the center. Or... no, we'll... yeah, we'll tolerate this for now. And then we'll move this up to wherever we want the head to rotate around, which let's say around here. And then we'll just do that. We can always move that later. So this will be RB head. RB neck base. RB neck lower. RB neck upper. RB neck tip. And then we can delete this bone. No, I don't think we can. We can delete this bone and just leave the head. Or we can keep this one and call it connector. And naming conventions, again, just things that work for you. Alright, I think we have all the joints in place. We can go ahead and rig this up. And then get IK working. So go ahead and parent the neck, or join the neck back in. Then we will Control P to the bones with empty... oh, fuck me. I hit envelope weights. I meant to hit empty groups. Alright, so... yeah, this should have no groups. Control P with empty groups. So bicep will be all of this stuff. Make sure we got it all. I think we did. And we'll put this to bicep L. Make sure we got it. That rotates properly, cool. So now we want elbow. So we'll select all this stuff. Minus the connectors for this joint, those are going to be the wrist. And we'll parent these to elbow L. So now we should be able to rotate that. Rotate that. Cool, cool. I wonder if we can go ahead and pose this and then just do the weights and it'll match. I think that's the case. So we'll select these and parent these to wrist. No, these are forearm. And then the hand goes to wrist. Let's make sure we got everything. We did not. Alright, that's everything that should be parented to wrist. And then this goes to thumb L. This also will. Thumb base. And this will go to thumb lower. This will go to thumb upper. And this will go to thumb tip. So now we can rotate that. U and U. Which U should be X, Z, Y. And only rotate on that x-axis. Oh, hey, what's up, Colin? Alright, we're making progress. So we'll parent these to index base. U as well. And then U to index tip. So that should all work. These go to middle base. And this goes to middle tip. Hey, Pierre. These go to ring base. This goes to ring tip. These go to picky base. And this goes to picky tip. So now if we come in here and select all these, and we rotate around individual origins, we can make a fist. And same with this one. You can rotate this under. You can rotate this. And we can rotate you up. Close enough. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a good pose for that. But I think that'll work. And we missed some stuff. Okay, so these need to go to wrist. Cool. Alright, let's move on. We want to match what we did on the bicep here, so we'll do the exact same mesh. This will go to bicep R. All this will go to elbow, except for the twisty part. Make sure we got it all. This will go to forearm. Make sure we get everything. I think that's the whole hand. We're not going to miss these pieces this time. And this will go to wrist. Cool. All of this will go to thumb base. You'll go to thumb lower. Hey Jaden, how's it going? You'll go to thumb upper, and you'll go to thumb tip. So now this should all work properly. And we'll assign these to index base, and this to index tip. Which really, having 3 finger joints would have been nice, but it also would have been kind of made his hand proportions a little bit weird for a cartoon robot. I'm gonna save before it crashes. Alright, so let's test this. We need to make sure all of these are locked only to their x-axis. Which none of them are. So that'll make for a nice fist. And we can rotate the thumb down. Curl it in. Maybe out a little bit. And maybe even out some more so it will interact with the fingers. Since these are pretty much going to stay in fist form, we can honestly tweak this around to make it look right. Just from the player perspective, it'll look something like this. We can twist those. Alright, let's move on. Oh, we might need some bones for the cannons, too. So let's we'll figure that out in a second. We can always unparent that stuff later. But in terms of the waste, we want pretty much all this stuff. So we'll go to vertex select and Control L the shit out of it. Oh, we also have to do the shoulders. So we'll select the ball joint and this area and parent those to the shoulders. And we'll also parent this to the shoulder. Oh wait, no. I screwed that up. We want to parent this to... what is this bone? Twist. So now we can twist that and we can rotate the shoulders a decent amount. So select you and the ball joint, not you, and put you on shoulder R. And put this on twist R. Cool. Yeah, so now we'll be able to, like, have him rev up for a punch. Not too worried about the back colliding like that, because nobody's gonna see it if we don't go too far. And then twist around here, or, oh, we're gonna need one more bone. We have the pelvis rotating that way. We also need one, so this rotates on the x-axis. But we also need one that twists for that joint. It's a good thing we're discovering this now. So this will be parented to pelvis. And we'll call it RB waist twist. Or RB waist is fine. And that's gonna try to pull numbers on us. So we'll call this one RB torso. And then this will be parented to waist instead of pelvis. Yeah, so he'll be able to rotate back to wind up. But he should also still be correct in all of that aspect. Cool. We're gonna figure out the IK on the legs to prevent that from doing anything funky. But we can go ahead and take all this stuff. just try to select all of the stuff that's not interfering with the arms. We're gonna want this center piece, back piece, all these connections. Okay, so that's almost it. All these wires. This disc, the shoulders. And we'll figure out the cannons here in a second, but the cannon bases can definitely be parented to torso. Which it's not going to auto add the groups, so we'll go ahead and add it. RB torso. Oh, it did add it. So we'll delete that. At least it renamed it. It kept that for us. We just have to find it. Torso. Assign. Cool. I missed a couple. And one more thing, this light. Okay, so we've got the torso rigged up, and it can rotate. Now I have to do the pelvis, which I think is going to be these. We'll just Control L to select everything. I think that's everything. Okay, and we'll call this torso, pelvis. Then this will be out. Leg out, left. Oh, wait, no. Remove those. We don't want these. These are going to be control. Alright, so assign that. Then this will be forward back. Then select this. I think that's everything. And this will be twist. And select all that. I think that's everything. And this will be knee. And then select the feet. Actually missed some. This will be foot. Oh. And this will be knee. Make sure everything's correct. Knee goes up like that, foot's not connected, so that's fine. Twist, out like that. And pelvis, which once we have IK in place, the legs will stay put. Cool. Cool. So this goes to out R. This goes to twist, or forward back. And this goes to twist. And take these and all this stuff, and we'll put this to me. And take all this stuff and put this on foot. And this guy should be able to rotate on all axes. And we're actually going to modify this to rotate around here. That's much better. Make sure all these joints are correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Almost there. So go ahead and save. And then we'll add some more. And we'll go ahead and make the skeleton X-ray so we can see it. And I think we want to rework the neck bones a little bit. So we're actually going to delete every other one. Not mean to move that. And we're going to make these connected. So these will center on these rings. Like so. That way I only have 3 neck bones, which is a lot more tolerable. We'll call this neck base, neck mid, and neck tip. So, you might be asking, what are you going to do with this, Chris? Very good question. What I'm going to do is assign each of the in-between pieces a weight of 1. Neck base. And then these a weight of 0.5. Neck base, neck mid. So that'll rotate 0.5 and that'll rotate 0.5. I don't know why it's scaling though. And this will be mid for a weight of 1. And this will be mid for a weight of 0.5. And tip for 0.5. And this will be tip for a value of 1. And this will be a tip for a value of 0.5. And what is this one? Connector for a value of 0.5. And then the rest of this will go straight to the head. And that gives us a decent amount of range. And what we can do is select these bones. It's a rotating individual. It'll sort of curve like that. Cool. So I think that sums it up other than the cannons. Which we have to be able to point the cannons at the players, which is going to be tricky to do with bones. So for the purpose of right now, we'll go ahead and put some bones in here to rotate these around the ball joint. And we'll point them forward so we can try to align them with the player in real time. And we will take these joints just so they mirror. And we'll select the middle of the circle here that this should rotate around, which I think is right here. And most importantly is going to be z-axis, then y, then x-axis, I think. So we'll do zxy. We'll call this RB cannon L and RB cannon R. And these will be parented properly to this. That's correct. So then we'll take all of this. We'll come over here. I don't think it's going to add those automatically, so we'll just add the group. RB cannon L. And we'll set this to weight of 1 and we'll assign it. Select all these. And then we'll add RB cannon R, and we'll assign those. Now his cannons can move. And I don't know if the head selection was for a value of 1. So So we're gonna go ahead and select that and reassign it a value of 1. Save. So now our robot is fully rigged. We can pose him, but let's figure out this IK mess. So we want the knees to be the IK, so we'll do inverse kinematics, armature, and we'll do foot, L. Set the chain length to that. And then we'll go to the bone settings and set the inverse kinematics to only affect y-axis on each of these. I think we need to make the chain length 1 more. And that's not working quite properly, so we're going to add an ankle joint as well. That's not going to do anything. And we'll just move this up to where it matches, kind of. I do make games. It's a VR game, though. So you have to have a Vive. Then we will do inverse kinematics, armature, foot L. I've only made the VR game so far. So now if we move the pelvis, it more or less sticks. We're gonna wanna fix this guy's rotation. Cool, legs work. We're gonna need to adjust these panels so they don't collide so much. Or bend or something. Alright, so then we'll do the same thing with parenting to the knee. Making a game takes a really long time. I've spent like a year and a half so far on this VR game. I'm not sure why that's breaking. Oh, is this foot parented still? It is. So now we have IK working. I think we're gonna want to set this up here where the ankle is. And try that. And that's much better. So then we can adjust the twist to move the knees out. Oh, and we have to lock all these for IK. That's cool. Make him maybe shift his weight. We'll unlock the other axes for the pelvis. And we can pose him. Which sometimes posing bones is easier with the gizmos, I'm not gonna lie. And we'll take our camera, move it up. Same with our background plane. If we can find it. There it is. I'm not gonna lie, it would be nice to have some forearm twist in here, so we might add that in a second. save. Let's do test render. I think we can rotate this knee in some. I want to go for like a contrapposto kind of thing. Maybe not quite so much. It's a robot, and he's rigged. Now I gotta figure out IK for the arms, because it'll be a cold day in hell before I animate this without arm IK. So I think we want the IK to be based around the hand. I'm pretty happy with how the leg IK worked out. That's pretty good. You might want to parent the shoulder pads to the shoulders a little bit so we get a little bit of motion there. Well, regardless, I will be right back. Okay, back to work. That colliding is a little bit problematic, so we might need to modify the model there a little bit. We need to do a rig for the pistons. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll snap the cursor to selected here. I have to think out how I want to do this. This is going to be a tough one. And then we'll come in here. We'll duplicate the shoulders since those are already parented to the proper bone. We'll get all this snapped in the right location. And we'll turn off the floor plane because that's going to be a pain in the ass. Alright, so didn't mean to do that. There we go. So we've got 3 bones. I think what we'll do is break the parent for this one and set it to shoulder. And this will be torso, that's correct. Then we'll take this one and we'll add a constraint. We'll do track 2, armature, and then what is this one? Shoulder L3. We'll rename it in a second. So now wherever we move this, so if we were to rotate the shoulder, that'll lock track. And then we can stretch this guy. So I'm thinking we want to inverse the direction of this. So I'll actually delete those. We'll get rid of the constraint on this one. That looks correct. That looks correct. And then we'll get rid of the parent on this one. We'll make it torso. Undo that because we don't want it connected. And then we'll make this one shoulder. So that's correct. We'll lock the track to, or we'll, no, maybe the other direction was correct. So I think we're going to use a copy rotation instead. Or we can parent this one to, no, it has to be parented to torso. Anyway, we'll do the stretch 2. Armature. This would be shoulder 3. This is what's going to be rotating, so we definitely have this invert. So let's get back what we had. I think that's as far as it's going to let us go. Oh, I know what we have to do. So, we're going to make the pipe We do not want this to be parented, or we do, but we want it to be parented to the shoulder. Snap. Selection to cursor. Grab U. Then we'll scale of round the cursor to a -1. We'll set roll to 0, doesn't really matter. So this is shoulder L001. This needs to be shoulder L001. And this needs to be shoulder L. So now let's move you like that and just do the constraints and see what happens. So we want to track you. Your shoulder L3, I think. And then you get a stretch too. And then you get a copy rotation of armature shoulder L1. And we'll call this RB piston or RB hydro base. RB hydro mid. Oh, and this has to be L. Oh fuck. So we can come in here, select these guys, go to torso, and remove them. Then take this part of the piston, minus the inner edge loop, and we'll assign these a value of 1 to piston, or hydro. So now that'll rotate properly. We'll take these vertices, RB hydro mid L, and RB hydro tip L. We'll do mid and we'll assign it. And we'll make sure this isn't accidentally assigned to the tip. Then we'll take this guy. Minus these vertices and assign these to tip. And then we'll display this one as only render so we don't see the bones. And we'll test it. Oh, it's definitely not perfect. Okay, I'm gonna have to come up with a new solution for that. Okay, so now what I'm thinking is we're gonna need 2 bones on either side that we're gonna track it to. Yeah, that'll have to be it. So we'll put one right here. RB Hydro Base Track L. And we'll parent this. That's parented to torso, so that's good. And that did not mirror. So we will extrude off of torso to get the mirroring. Make these not connected. RB Hydro Track L. RB Hydro Track R. Call this one RB Hydro Tip Track L. RB Hydro Tip Track R. RB Hydro Mid R. RB Hydro Mid L. Cool. Then we need one more bone. And we're going to extrude from here for that. Make sure it mirrored. It did. And this one's going to be parented to shoulder as well. Except we did that wrong. So we want to delete that bone. Extrude from here. It's not mirroring. There we go. Okay, and you need to be shoulder R, but not connected. Okay. Cool. And then we'll snap this here. And this will be hydro tip L. Okay, so then we want to track U to track L. That's correct. We want to track U. What did we name this? RB armature, and then track L. Then we take U and U minus the vertices. We'll remove U from tip track, and we add RB hydro tip. Oh, and we assign. And now we have a working piston. Except you are not going to lose any volume. And that's close enough. Like, it doesn't need to be anything fancy. And this has pretty good range before it breaks, it looks like. So this is going to stretch 2, armature, track R. This is going to track 2, armature, track R. This is going to track 2, armature, track R. And I think we can go ahead and edge split this. And that'll make our lives a hell of a lot easier. So this will be removed from torso. All of it. This will be RB Hydro Base R, RB Hydro Mid R, RB Hydro Tip R, just to be sure. So we'll select this, we'll add a new one, RB Hydro Base R, we'll assign it. RB Hydro Mid R. Hydro, I put for hydraulics, essentially. And then oh, this is frozen. RB Hydro Tip R, and we'll assign. So now this should work as well. And we will maintain the volume. Looks much better. And we'll go ahead and extend this pipe too. Just extend it right up in here so we get more range. And that should... oh shit, what happened there? Oh. There we go. We'll delete that face in a second if we just want to move this guy up some. So now I have a working piston there too. Cool. And then let's go ahead and do the same thing over here where we disconnect. Edge split. Edge split. Select you. Remove, 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 assign to base. Remove, 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 assign to mid. Remove, 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 assign to tip. And we'll take this guy. And we'll move him right up there to give it more range. Cool. And then this should all work properly when we rotate stuff as well. But good to test stuff like that. Cool, that all works. Great. And now we know how to rig piston kind of things. So, what's next? We have the twist there, but I'm thinking we really want, because that'll allow him to move his arms up and down, but I think we really want a twist that will twist the elbows, so let's go ahead and add that as well. So we'll go ahead and hide the armature for now. Move this up here so it's nice and centered. And let's go ahead and rotate this to match the arm. So we will select this vertex, snap the cursor to it, select these pipes, rotate around the cursor, and then rotate this to sort of match the arm. And we'll rotate this power core to match as well. I think we got all of it. So I'm actually thinking this is pretty straight, so we'll just add a straight bone right in here, in the center of it, that will allow to rotate. And that'll just rotate the whole bicep. So we'll just extrude right off of this guy, which that should mirror, it did. We'll unconnect the parent. We'll try to center it as best as we can. And we'll move this like that. And that should rotate that bone. Yeah, it's connected. And then we want to parent the elbow to this, and we'll call this bicep twist. And everything that's connected to bicep will connect to bicep twist. So bicep L is what we're looking for. We'll select all that, except for these. And we will remove, and then add a new group, RB bicep, twist L, and we'll assign there. And then we'll parent U, the elbow, to bicep twist. And then you should only be able to rotate along the Y. And that gives us pretty good range. We can even center that on this joint right here. We won't really need to use it that much, it'll just give us a bit more tweakability. Come over here, do the same thing. This will be parented to... Oh wait, we have to name this one. And let's go ahead and select everything that's parented to bicep R, except for these pipes. And we'll remove that. And then we'll add a group. And we will assign. And then change this guy to bicep twist R. And have this guy be YZX and only be able to rotate on Y. We do not want to have these connected. We'll take this guy. We'll select just the tip, move that out. Alright, so now that works. I can rotate it so the elbows are pointing out, that's nice. I can rotate the forearms. Great! Looks cool to me. So he's fairly posable at this point. Let's put this in a fist and get him in a nice punch pose. And we'll twist him. Rotate his head. Rotate him back some. We'll bring this arm down. We'll rotate the elbow. Rotate the fingers. Maybe rotate out more a bit for each of the fingers. And this is where this twist comes in handy. I'm gonna also maybe he's like stepping back when he winds up. Probably putting more of his weight on this leg. You want to keep the center of gravity. And then we can rotate this shoulder up more. And this shoulder down more. And then we can twist the leg. I think we can rotate the elbow, or this down more. And then we can screw with the thumb here. I think we can rotate these fingers in more too. And bring this up even more. Maybe twist it out. Oh, I see what we need to do. We can rotate the pelvis some too. I feel like we need another control to rotate just the torso. I think this will work for now, though. So let's pretend he's gonna punch us from this direction. You might want to rotate this leg out some. Rotate the foot out to match. And then let's have him looking right at the camera. And we'll put a shadow coming that way. And we'll set the camera to like 50 millimeter. And then let's twist this arm just a bit. I'll be right back. I was looking in the mirror, and it looks like really the chest would be rotated even more. And this would be back here. And this arm would probably be up more. Maybe even rotate this out more. And we can make the silhouette more interesting. Alright. I think that is going to conclude our stream for tonight. We have a robot, we can pose him, he is rigged to the best of my ability. I might figure out IK at a later date, but I think that pretty much concludes the boss robot. If I make any more progress on him or anything, I'll stream it, but thank you all for watching. I'm gonna take it and make a time lapse probably. I'll catch you all in the next stream where I might be working on something else.